The theme of this session is to provide insights into the capabilities of SAP S/4HANA in driving digital transformation and innovation. What are the tools and accelerators to be leveraged for mitigating the risks and reducing the total cost of ownership? Let us begin the session and understand from the experts about whys and hows of moving to SAP S/4HANA. Let us start with Matthew Donovan, Director of SAP S/4HANA Business and Market Development. He started his journey at SAP 7 years ago, supported SAP's largest global Fortune 5 customers. His main focus is on high growth space and create a framework to support net new customer acquisition and enable field team on new go-to-market assets.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Donovan. I am part of SAP's Solution Management Organization, responsible for our business and market development around S/4HANA in North America.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the session. As one of the senior leaders at SAP, would you please educate us on how SAP S/4HANA will help in driving business transformation and innovation?
So when we think about how SAP and S/4HANA will help in driving business transformation with our customers, one of the things that we like to do is kind of think more broadly about what is our vision for business transformation and what are we looking to achieve. And one of the things that we've really noticed at SAP is that a lot of our customers and a lot of the prospects that we work with are currently really focused on running the business. So most of their time is spent on operations. And so what we're trying to do with S4 is to provide a level of automation and to provide a level of efficiency so that these businesses can focus on more value-added activities. And we do that in a couple different steps. So when we think about how we're delivering a level of automation, one of the things that we really want to take a step back and do is make it much easier to consume the innovations and the software that we deliver as part of S4. And we do that starting with the user experience. People expect a much more modern way to interact and get information. And we're doing that with our Fiori user experience. Now, once we've made the interface easier to use, users can really focus on how they're going to drive value. And one of the ways that we do that is by embedding what we call in-process analytics. And in-process analytics helps people have the information that they need at the time of need. So analytics is no longer an afterthought. It's something that's actually embedded in the underlying process. Now, once you have that real-time insight, that's where we kind of move the needle and we take it even further with S4. So once you have that baseline, we can actually start to automate these manual or repetitive tasks with our robotic process automation. And the benefit of this is it really cuts down on the operations side of the house. So you can focus much more on the value-added operations. And if we take it to the next step, this is where we like to embed what we call advanced analytics into S4. And the goal of this is to really support the strategy. We don't want to be focused on operations. We want to be focused on how do we actually steer the organization? How do we navigate through these times? And we do that with artificial intelligence and machine learning to make sure that the customers that we support can start to map out what is the best case that can happen to our business. And machine learning is kind of an evolution. So what we have is we have something called situation handling for our customers to start off small. They'll proactively get alerted to what are the things that are important to me. How should I prioritize my day? Not only that, but they'll get recommendations on what is the best course of action. What is that we should do in this moment to support this business process? And then they can actually model out scenarios of what is the best outcome that we can drive. So when we take a step back and we look at what is our vision with S4, what are we trying to do both for our existing customers and for new ERP customers? We're really trying to focus on taking the day-to-day operations and automating them so that the end customer can focus on how do we drive the business forward and how do we adapt during these times.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it helps to understand the capabilities of SAP S/4HANA and how It can help us in innovation. Now let's move to the next question. Tell us about SAP's Move program and how it will benefit customers and partners.
So one of the areas that we're really focused on is helping our existing customer base make the move to S4. And one of the things that we've started to realize is that every customer's journey to S4 is different. And so one of the things that we want to do is provide a structure to support each of our customers' unique needs around the move to S4. And so what we've done is we've put together a customer journey. And the goal of the customer journey is to really help our customers navigate the process and what it takes to move to S4. And one of the things that we really wanted to take a step back and do is really sit down with the customers and focus on the why. Why are you looking to move? What are your objectives? Even before we start looking at S4, how can SAP be a trusted advisor and help support your objectives? Now, when we think about that, what that really comes down to is aligning on the vision and strategy. And what we see is that some customers, where they are on their vision and strategy journey is different. So some of our customers are very focused on how do we improve the as is. So a lot of times when we meet with executives or different business leaders, they're very focused on a pragmatic view of the organization, especially in the climate that we're in now. How do you focus on the current challenges and getting through the day-to-day? But what we're starting to see a shift as businesses adapt and start to recover is to look more forward-looking, look at the to-be. So how do we look across the company? And SAP is really good at bringing different stakeholders together to understand how the business can grow as a result of this innovation. And then the other benefit that we have is we have a broad view of what's going on in the industry. We have a comprehensive view across the industry, and we've made major investments to ensure that our solutions are tailored to each specific industry that we support. And the last component of that is some of our customers are really looking at how do we take this moment to leapfrog our competitors? So how do we be really thought-provoking and really model forward what could the transformation be and what could the future look like with the help of SAP? Now, once we understand the vision and strategy, the second step of our MOVE program is how do you build the case? We really want to make sure that we're aligning the objectives of the customer with the outcomes that can be received by making an investment in S4. And the focus here is where and how are we going to see a return on our investment? What is the value? What needles are we going to really move by making this move to S4? And then how do we plan the path forward? So how do we look at the different solutions that are available, the different industry capabilities that are available to map out what your future state is and how to actually get there? So what deployment option is the best for you? What implementation option is the best for you? And really provide a tailored point of view of how you'll get to S4. And then at the end of the day, the last step of the MOVE journey is to deliver the business value. We are really focused on making sure that value is realized with this move. What are the best practices to ensure success? What enablement and tools and methodology does SAP provide to ensure that you are successful on this journey? So what we do look at this is the vision to value journey. How do you go from a vision and objectives to actually realizing the value? And that is what our MOVE program stands for.
Great inputs, Matthew. And yeah, we now understand how this program helps the customers and partners. Let's move to the next question. What are the tools and accelerators SAP is providing to reduce the total cost of ownership for customers?
So a lot of our customers are looking for how do we actually go through the MOVE program? And what are the ways that we enable our customers as they go on this journey? And so if we look across those four categories that I talked about, SAP has made significant investments in the tools and resources and support in combination with our partners to ensure that you have the information that you need. And one of the things that we've done is tried to make it more focused on, again, the why and make it more engaging. So if we look at aligning on the vision and strategy, SAP has resources that really change the interaction and make it a little bit more fun. So when we think about aligning on vision and strategy, SAP has two really wonderful resources to do that. So the first one is ERP Sim. I don't know about you, but I grew up playing simulation games, and it's such a fun way to experience different things. And so what we provide at SAP is an actual S4HANA simulation game so you can understand and get a day in the life of what is it like to interact with an S4 system and how do you gamify that so you actually compete with different teams to see who can be more profitable. And then the other component is a modern day ERP monopoly game. It's called our virtual S4HANA board game. And with that, we help you go through the journey around the board and see what is the difference in our current state with ERP compared to our future state with S4. And then when we move to the business case, we provide a variety of resources to support building out the why. So we have a business scenario that helps you understand how are we consuming ERP today and how do we model that business process moving forward. And then we also have resources to help you build out your business case, build out your value lifecycle, and then understand by using our tools like the readiness check and using the tools that SuneraTech has put together to build out why. What is the value? How would we move? How does this come together? And then when we think about making the path forward, SAP and our partners really provide a point of view that's prescriptive to help ensure that you have the right resources and the right solution to meet your needs. So some customers, that's a new implementation where they start fresh, and some customers, that's a system conversion where they leverage the investments they've made in ERP to date. And we have the flexibility to support our customers across the public cloud, the private cloud, as well as on-premise. And the last part of that is how do we make sure that we accelerate your journey to realize value? I mean, that's what kind of starts this whole process. And so we've got great tools with our migration cockpit, and we also provide best practices and model company framework that help give you a jumpstart on how should a business process be structured? What is the best way for us to go through this? And how do we start to fit to standard instead of customizing processes? It helps our companies scale and it helps them consume innovation quicker that way. And then we also have great resources with our partners, with our customer care organization, as well as our regional implementation group to give you the resources to succeed in your project. Make sure that your go live is as successful as it can be. So that's just a subset of some of the tools that we have to accelerate your move to S4, but understand that SAP and our partners are making significant investments every step of the way to make sure we're tailoring your customer journey. Thank you very much.
Great. SAP is providing so many tools, that can be successfully leveraged for migrating to SAP S/4HANA.